All right, welcome back. This is the second installment in the Fear Street trilogy, 1978. Okay. Now let me say this: I enjoyed part two more than I did part one. I have to admit it, and not just because the lovely music that you hear that reminded me so much of Friday the 13th. Every time something happened, not just because the camp. Because of the fact that seeing somebody getting chopped up more than one time and you're actually watching it, even though you know you should turn away. Okay? It also made the whole thing about Sarah Fierce's legacy more like, Okay? Now, don't get it twisted. Seeing somebody's head going through a bread slicer was a trip. Okay? But let's not forget that gross monster that was in the middle of the Witch's Mark cave. Was up there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, y'all know Sadie from off of Stranger Things was on there. And what's the young lady name? She's on Crew Summer. They had some good people on there. Okay. You know, I loved Dina in part one. Though I liked her character and everything. But when I say that these two ladies, anyway, they showed the very end. They showed that Simon and Kate were blamed for the bloodshed. This is 1994. Okay. And Sam is possessed. Ooh. Where's my... oh. Hi, ghost. Okay. Dina and Josh visit the mysterious C. Berman. C. Berman. To find out how they can get Sam back to normal, because she is tripping. And potentially break, the curse. Shady side. Since C. Berman, she barely survived 1978 Camp Nightwing massacre, which took her sister's life. Dina and Josh was like, hey, we need to find out something. What's good? What's the tea? What's happening? Sam died just like C. Berman did. So why did she do C. Berman like that, but not Sam? Period. Okay? I couldn't get it together. I'm sorry. They tried to find things out. They got a scrapbook that shows Shady Side, all these different things. Some of the teens, 1978. We go back. July 19, 1978. We got Shady Cider Ziggy. Straight up, they're showing her. They're calling her a witch. They're stringing her up to a tree. It's very obvious these girls are haters. And they hate her. That's just normally how it goes. They being bullied. They about to burn her with a lighter, all kind of stuff. Okay, so Brandon Spick, who's playing he plays the future mayor, but the younger version. I love how they did that. They have Will's brother, Nick Good. Y'all remember Nick Good in part one? The sheriff comes to Ziggy's rescue. I really think, anyway. Oh, they did do it at the very end. Okay, I'm thinking about the part one. So, camp counselor Nick is the son of the recently deceased, the town sheriff. And part of the protection is Ziggly is clearly inspired by responsibility regarding law and order. So the kid reads Stephen King books, likes horror, likes spiders, all this weird stuff. Even if she even though he tries to be friendly to her, Ziggy ain't trying to. But Ziggy is also bad, like I don't want to say bad, a rebel, the way Dina was. Okay, and this whole thing about the Sunnyvale and all this back and forth. She's there with her sister Cindy, who they don't get along at all. She's like, hey, aim camp, let's go, counselor. and with her boyfriend, who is so cute, Tommy. Ziggy and Cindy, they have not gotten on for years because just Ziggy's attitude and how she believes Shay's side is like cursed, and Cindy's always like trying to be all happy and ooh ah yeah, let's go, woo woo woo, you know. And then the camp nurse, who is the mother of that crazy girl Ruby Lane, love, but I forgot what the song was. Ruby Lane attacks Tommy and tries to kill him. She saw what she saw. What happened? Okay, hold on. I don't get ahead of myself. Oh, because the nurse told him you're gonna die. She tried to kill him with a knife. That kind of freaked out Cindy. Like, she did everything but be squared in the box. She'll know what to do. She can't talk to her sister, her former best friend, who is Alice. Does a lot of drugs with her boyfriend, Arnie. You see right there? Wait, over here. Those two right there. Okay? That is Alice. Cindy's under a lot of pressure. She doesn't want to believe it. Having a lot of problems at home with her parents. Nurse Mary Lane had this book in the cabinet about Sarah. And she always said that Ruby Lane wasn't herself and killed 7 people, and including herself. Cindy could not really believe it. People was like, is she on drugs? Back then, everybody was on drugs or crazy. They didn't really want to dig into it. She was like, look, something more of it. In her book, she has a map of Shady Side in Sunnyvale, where Sarah lives. And her cut off hand offered to the devil and was killed. Is it just like a joke? Z was very frustrated because Cindy would not listen to her. Now campers are getting ready for this big old, I don't want to say that word, a crazy color war. Let's go out like our ancestors did before, and I don't want to say these words. Get rid of those Shady Side witches. Okay? They're just really on some stuff. Cindy, Tommy, Alice, and Arnie followed the map into the woods. And the remains of her house, Miss Fear's house. I don't say Fear, Sarah Fear, whatever. Which is why, I don't know why, with stuff like this, why was it even still there? They find the witch's mark. From what the nurse's book is kind of like that little map that's going on. It's carved in like some kind of altar in the home foundation. There's some names carved in the rock. People that she's possessed in the past. All of a sudden you see Tommy's name there, which explains why the nurse said, you're gonna die. You're gonna, someone's trying to spare his life so he doesn't kill people like her daughter did, Ruby. And so Tommy is a part of that. People get possessed, killed, all that. And the nurse, she saw it. That's why she's doing all that crazy stuff. Anyway, Tommy is now sitting there with that nasty looking. I should have got a picture of that fly. If I can't for the next part 3, I'll find it. That fly, that nasty. I didn't think about that. I should have got that. So he's sitting there, looking weird. Then, because Arnie was sitting there. He's like, hey, so Tommy. He's like, what are you on? Tommy gets an axe and chops Arnie in the face. I was like, the next thing you know, he tries to kill Alice and Cindy. And then the rock falls on top of him and traps them in there. But then he comes out and goes to Camp Nightwind. Can't anybody come? I mean, anybody. I said, Lord, the children ain't even saved Jesus. Tommy did not care. In a lot of horror movies, kids are off limits. And this one, it being this an R.L. Stein book that kids read, it didn't even matter. The little story, the little chubby dude, because the little color war crap, he was hiding the other shady whatever, the kids. And then they got captured by the people that ran off. And then he's standing there and then he sees Tommy. He says, Tommy? He tries to run. He took that axe and killed that kid. I said, all the kids. I said, ugh. So meanwhile, all this Stuff is going on. Alice and Cindy, they realize that the hand, which is created by the witch's mark on the ground design, is a kind of like a map. They follow it, and they pass that fly thing. Oof. Oh my God. And then I don't know why Alice puts a hand on it. I was so frustrated. Like, why did she do that? She was tripping. She kept on seeing stuff when they flying. She bust her ankle. It was just a mess. Oh, Lord. So Ziggy's hand gets blood on the fire's hand. I'm like, why would you want... It's a skull hand. People examining stuff. So that activates all the possessed killers to go after all of them. Straight up, they in the tunnel. Tommy kills Alice. Cindy got so frustrated. Let me tell you something. She took that doggone shovel and she beheaded that sucker. I said, get them together. And then come back to life. I was like, oh my God, Jason. I just hit me the thing. I was like, okay. He did a good freaking job. Okay. The child killer came. The milkman, Tommy, Ruby Lane, they all came together trying to get the sisters. Then Tommy ends up freaking chopping Cindy. She tried to save her sister. I was like, I'm an older sister. So to me, I understood the part when she was trying so hard, even though they were arguing on this problem. She was trying to save her sister. She pushed her sister out of the way. It was like, I can't leave you. Then they both getting chopped up. She getting chopped up by Tommy and then one by the milkman. Then they showed the sisters hand trying to reach each other. After all this time of not talking and being mad, they reached her hand. One laying across the other way, full of blood and gush. But one of the girls lived. And then you think about it, you started to wonder who is C Berman, Cindy Berman. So who is it? The C is for Christine, which is Ziggy's real name. Although Nick gave Ziggy CPR and helped bring her back to life after she died in the milkman's hand, nobody believed her story. The sheriff obviously makes it up because he wants to be sheriff one day, and he grew up to be sheriff. And she grew up to be that lady with the recluse with the padlocks and alarm clocks, and it's happening again. Nick wrote Christine, Ziggy, and C. Berman in that part 1 note. Now, not even sure if the curse can ever be broken. Dina and Josh try believing the curse will end when the body and the hand unite. They retrieve the bones. That's the story she told. Retrieve the bones that wrapped in a Sunnyvale pocket, a Letterman jacket. Take it to the mall, which has been built over the Camp Nightwing. Who builds stuff over dead people? Jesus. And they dig the red moss, finding the hanging display at the mall. They've been buried decades. Dia thinking she doing something. She says, I got you, you witch. Dina says, and when she joined the two together, then suddenly we are in 1666. And Dina is who? Sarah Fear. Oh, snap. Okay, we're going to leave that there, and we'll be back for part 3.